What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to SKF Weekly. We got a jam-packed show for you as always. We try to make the best as we can with the content that's going on. Or it's quiet time right now for the Knicks, so you got to deal with it. It is what it is. But hey, but there is some stuff. We got some rumors, of course. There's always trade rumors. We got some Malik Beasley news, of course. You guys know it's circling the wagons. We also got some information about Yabusele, as well as touching base on what's going on, just giving a quick update on stuff, because I know some of you guys might be trying to find out what's going on with two-way contracts and stuff like that. So we'll try to give a brief, limited update, because there's really not a lot to go on, and touch base on all that, and then as usual, we'll have some good Nick back and forth between myself and my brother at arms, Mr. John, as well as you guys in the chat. And, if anybody wants to call in, we'd love to hear from you. So stay tuned. Let's go.
Say go, New York, go, New York, go. Say go, New York, go, New York, go. Say go, New York, go, new team, it's the same dream. New Knicks City uniform, they stay clean. I just caught mine off of Fanatics in the garden with my hands in the air, we back at it.
Hey, we are back. Thank you for tuning in to SKF Weekly. You see it. Let's go, baby. I'm your man, Ron. That's my brother, John, and my brother, Jose. He's out. He's with us in spirit, but he'll be back eventually. Don't you worry about it. He's still going to be holding it down on the ones and twos, but we got it from here.
That's right. We're holding it down.
What's up, my brother?
That's what we're here for. I'm good, man. How are you? It's been a long week.
Yeah.
Been a long week.
Yeah. As usual, I'm drinking my aloe vera. I don't know, for whatever reason, I wanted to drink aloe vera. I haven't had aloe vera, I don't know, who knows, 2 years, 3 years, I don't know. I said, you know what, today I want to drink some aloe vera, so that's what I'm doing.
Listen, sometimes you got to let it do what it do.
It's one of them days. Anyway.
Yeah, man. How was Williamsburg Day, man? I know you went out there.
Oh, yeah. As you guys know, I said this on Saturday's show. If anybody's tuned in tonight that may not be familiar, but you may know what we're talking about. Depending on what neighborhood you're from, your town, your neighborhood may have a special day. Once a year they celebrate the town or the area where you're from. So ours was this past Saturday. So I was out there with the fellas, our mutual friends, and it was a good time, man. It was surprising, actually, because they did a good job of organizing it. Like, they had everything set up. They had different stations. They had bouncy houses and stuff like they normally do for the kids, but they also had people out there grilling, like people with like barbecue pits grilling and selling food. That was different. They also had some other stuff. And then, on block 2, you would get this. They actually had like a walkthrough with people giving out different things, and it was like all over the place. But it was interesting. Oh, really? Yeah, they had stuff on block 1, block 2, and block 3 and 4. It was very different. I thought it was kind of cool.
It up.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
What's up? Yeah, next year, food trucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
No performances, no performance spaces.
No, they didn't do no performances, but they did have a basketball tournament. So they had two sets of tournaments, an early one and then a late one.
Okay, that's what's up.
But most importantly, what was the best thing to see was there was a lot of old timers out there. Like, I was shocked. I was like, damn. I was like, whoa, there's a lot of old timers out there, bro.
That's good. That's good. They're showing out.
I felt, yeah. It made me
feel.
You
felt young again.
Yeah. I felt all right. But then, eventually, when they was taking pictures of the old timers, somebody snapped a pic of me. So I don't know. I got caught up.
It's like, we got to capture Unc right there.
Yeah, this is not good. Okay, all right. We missed you though, bro. We missed you.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm more than likely will be making the next years. I'll be there for sure.
There you go. There you go.
Man. What's up, man? I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah, no, we did. I forgot to ask you, everything's been so crazy for you. Have you had a chance to even relax and enjoy the pool and just kick back your feet? And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
We
I
got
don't
some
know.
barbecue
You
days
always
in.
looking and running, bro.
We have been running around though, but
Yeah.
but we've gotten a couple of
Okay.
weekends in.
All right. At least you've had some summer. You've had some
Yeah,
summer. Okay. Cool.
yeah. Outside of just being at the baseball fields all summer, but
All
yeah, we've gotten there. Yeah,
all right. All right. All right.
yeah,
Shout out to everybody. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Please smash the like button for the show. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed.
yeah.
Salute to Walter Blackman in the building. What up, Walter? Good to see you. Says good evening, Ron. My Knicks family training camp starts next month. Yes, it does. Shout out to Travel Vibes. Appreciate you. He said peace, everybody. Well, yeah, Walter, I can't wait. Nostalgic Nick is in the building. So Ron G and salute. Appreciate you, Nostalgic. Andios NYK is in the building. And you know what? He ain't gonna say it. I'll say it. Happy birthday, Andios.
Birthday, man. God bless.
Yeah.
Wish you many more.
Yes. Happy birthday to a real one. Appreciate you, my guy, as always. Salute to you, my guy. I hope the day was good. I mean, the weather was nice over here. I don't know about the weather where you're at, but it was okay over here. All right. Also, shout out to Anthony D in the building. Says salute, Nick fans. Appreciate you, Anthony. Good to see you as always. And obviously, shout out to those who may be tuned in, watching, but not in the chat. Appreciate you guys as always. So yeah, let's get right into it. It is a quiet time right now, but obviously there's always stuff going on. There's rumors. John, right now the hot topic is Malik Beasley. The Knicks were kicking the tires on Beasley to see his availability and also to find out a little bit more about his situation to see if that's going to go away and he's somebody that they might consider. First off, what's your thoughts on Beasley?
I mean, I've always liked Beasley. I mean, he's a player that sort of fits what we're trying to build here in New York. He's the type of player that I always like, the kind of gritty type players, gets under your skin when he's in an opposing team, but it's great for you when they're on your team,
right.
As a rooting fan, right? I think he has, he's kind of a journeyman, right? Like he's been around, played for multiple teams already in his career, and he's sort of already an established player. He understands the game. He understands his game, he's a player who can bring a lot to a team depending on his role and the role that he's given. But as far as the Knicks are concerned, it's it'll be surprising to see if he ends up with the Knicks. Just because he's not a player that is going to be looked upon as someone who's going to be playing heavy minutes per se. He is kind of like, if he was to join the Knicks, he would be sort of a guy who comes in and plays. If he's off the bench, he's playing spot minutes. And in the key role, probably a 6-man off the bench, a guy who could shoot it, and he can play some defense. So I think he's a valuable asset if the Knicks were to, be able to sign him. But doesn't seem like there's a way that is possible. If he's going to probably be looking for more than just a vet minimum, and Ron, I'm not even sure if you're still on. I don't know if he jumped off.
Yeah,
okay.
I was around doing
you were doing the single shots. I was like, okay,
I'm here.
You know what I mean? Like, he's one of those guys that you can expect to get a lot from, right? When he plays, the minutes that he does play is going to be, valuable minutes for a team. A team like the Knicks could use him to, it'll just give more depth to the team. But I don't know if the Knicks are able to sign a guy like that on a vet's minimum. He's probably going to be looking for something more than just that. But NBA can surprise you, right? Like,
this is true. It is interesting. Like, I was talking about it on Saturday. I don't think we're a great fit for Beasley as far as what he needs right now.
As a player, right?
one playing time, right? We don't have a lot of that. I mean, could he earn more of it by being clutch and, some of the stuff he does? Because he can get hot and really carry you. And no coach is going to be like, when this guy's on a burner, I'm not taking him out the game. You know what I mean? Yeah, but the flip side, too, is, no matter what's going on, whether he's not guilty of charges and they can't, prosecute him and all that good stuff, the bottom line is it looks like he is in a little bit of a money grind. He's got a little bit of a money situation. And so our contract is around 2-3 million compared to what other people can offer him. 6, some can offer him up to 12. Like there's more money to be had. So it's tough to see him coming to the Knicks. However, I will say we do have an ace in the hole a little bit because we do have Gershon Rojas, who did sign Beasley when he was with Minnesota. And they have a good relationship. So you got that, but I don't know if that's enough,
I mean, the question is, in any business deal, the question is, what other alternative options can they bring forth that will help entice him to be a part of this team, right? Or, does it fill the need? Like, can they promise him an extension, in following years? Like, you could take the vet minimum and then the next year we can renegotiate when certain players are off the books and then extend the contract out, so those are possibilities. The question is, does he want to play in New York, and is he willing to bet on himself this year in order to see the fruits of his labor in the following years? I think it's all predicated on his role, really knowing what his role would be with this New York Knicks team right now as advertised, right? Because we got Jordan Clarkson as a shooting guard off the bench, so someone's going to lose some time if he gets brought in and he outplays, some bench players, possibly, possibly Deuce, Kolek, you know what I mean?
And Hart.
And
because he plays defense, he may not be he's a willing defender that actually affects stuff. And his offense is if he gets hot. I'm not talking about
he's a shooter.
Sometimes he has moments where he's okay. He ain't that great. But when he's
a better shooter than Hart, though. Yeah, for sure. But Hart can play multiple positions.
Right. Defensively. But I think the thing about Hart that's interesting, and don't get me wrong, guys, once again, you know how many times I've said it. I love Josh Hart. But Thibodeau was in love with Josh Hart.
That's true.
Mike Brown.
It could be different, right?
You know what I mean? I'm not saying you don't like him or appreciate him, but he may not be as invested in Josh Hart as another coach might be.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's a really great point, actually. So yeah, Josh Hart could be included in, the loss of minutes there too. Again, it's all dependent on, team chemistry and what the coaching staff has in store for the team. We may not need Beasley. It's possible, but in the NBA, you can't have enough talent, right? The more abundant your talent, the better you are. Look at OKC. I think we spoke about it on Saturday, where you were talking about you can never go without. You have an abundance of talent. It makes for a deeper roster, and the challenges of going through a full season with injuries and everything. You're going to need talent to
100%
overcome. You know what I mean? Those things. So I wouldn't be mad at. I would be actually excited if Beasley did join the New York Knicks. I think that will help. It'll bolster the roster, but I don't see it happening. I'll be surprised. These are those players that you usually see they get snatched up by a Los Angeles Lakers or the Clippers or you know what I mean? It's a franchise that needs, it's one of those things. It's like an NBA treasure, So,
and the thing is, if Beasley was available, well, first off, we wouldn't have had a chance to get him. We got him now because other teams have already, we have a chance to even talk about him because other teams have already added to their squad. So they're not looking for a Beasley as they would be earlier in the offseason. But if we had the money, for example, and we could give it to Beasley, would you have given it to Beasley over Clarkson?
If he didn't, yeah, of course, yeah, I would say so. I think so. I like his game more than Clarkson's. I think Clarkson's probably a more versatile scorer, but you know what I mean. Like he can handle the rock probably a lot better than Beasley can. But I think Beasley gives you more grit.
He does.
He's a defender.
He's a better defender.
Yeah, Clarkson ain't really playing no defense like that. So
yeah,
I would have to lean on defense more, especially in New York. New York, like we like those type of players.
That's true.
They're gonna bring it day in and day out and be a pest to the opposing team. So
no, that's a good point.
So yeah, I mean tarnished. I see Manny saying Malik's reputation is tarnished. In what way?
Oh, I guess because because of the fact that even though he's not guilty, or they can't prosecute him because they don't have enough evidence. The rumors. I guess that part of it, like, where there's smoke, there's fire, and people just feel a certain way about your image. You know how it is when you're in the public opinion.
I guess, but it's not like it's like he beat down his girlfriend or his significant other. It's not something like that. It's not that. It's more, like some things with the landlords, like you know what I mean. That's more business than anything else.
The other thing too is, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with a professional athlete gambling. It's just you can't gamble on your sport. Like you can't. I don't think, and you definitely can't gamble on a game that you're in or that your team is playing. That's a no. But I don't even know. Can if you play basketball, can you even gamble on a basketball game if you're not in it or if you're not playing? If it's not your team, I don't know. I don't know if you can.
I'm sure there's contracts that stipulate you cannot. Right? They have to stay far from it. You know what I mean? But then that's why you get handlers that, put out bets for you and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Knicks will be 2026 champ, says Malik smashed his teammate's mom. Listen, I mean, we never said he was a good dude.
They say he smashed his teammate's mom. Where does that come from, though? Like, is there rumors of him sleeping around?
In the NBA that ain't good dudes.
And coaches. I mean, it's
coaches, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
because of the territory.
I mean,
you know what I mean, remember Derek Fisher? We had Derek Fisher in our crib, and he was running out to LA and getting beat up. So I mean, we're no stranger to that.
Let's not forget how talented and how good of a player Delonte West is. But he's got a lot of bones in his LeBron closet. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
Some of that was supposedly like not even true. Some of that was just rumored.
Wow. Hey,
I don't know.
Who
knows?
Yeah. But shout out to.
I think he would be he would fit if he were to be picked up by the Knicks. I think he would, and just because like the style of offense that they're trying to play, you know what I mean? He's one of those guys who could spot up and shoot it. You know what I mean? He fits the mold. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sherwin says Kai Jones or Ben Simmons are bigger needs. And those are also serious question marks. And you talk about people with character issues. Kai Jones.
Ben Simmons, too.
Yeah, Kai
Both
Jones.
of them.
Interesting. Yeah.
Both those guys. Because you don't know how much they truly want to be in the NBA if they even want to.
Yeah. At least he's got something to play for. Oh, wait.
Right.
Sorry. That was too easy. Anyway, shout out to King Ribby in the building. What up, King Ribby? Salute. No late night lattes. No late night lattes for me. I don't want to have no more insomnia. I'm chilling on that. Shout out to Crim's dad in the building. Also wishing Andios a happy birthday. Appreciate you, Crim's dad. And hope you're doing well, brother. Shout out to Randu in the building, and shout out to Randu and Crim's dad for being members of the SKF Army, as well as Knicks will be 2026 champs. Appreciate you guys. Prezi the boss is in the building. What up, Prezi? Also, the Objective Knicks fan Karan is in the building. Salute. We in the building. Guys, stay tuned as we got a tentative date for a little collabo next week, Wednesday. with Objective Nick fan. He's going to have a nice little round table, if you will, and talking about a really, really interesting topic about the Knicks. So stay tuned for that when the official stuff goes out. Tune into that show next Wednesday, most likely.
What's up?
All right. Shout out to Craig as well. What up, Craig? Okay, so there's that. Then, of course, because there's nothing going on, no day goes by without these random trade offers, these supposed trades that come out of everywhere. The newest one, which I would say no to. If this had been 3 years ago or 4 years ago, maybe, but no, not now. The newest trade is Josh Hart for Keldon Johnson from the Spurs. I don't like Keldon Johnson anymore. He's not the same player he was when he came into the league initially. He's turned into a journeyman type player, even though he's playing with the same team, but like he's not at the forefront anymore. But
right.
when he came in, he was averaging like 20 points per game. His mid range was crazy. He was killing people. Like he was just a different player. Now he's like he's in the back burner, bro. It's crazy watching.
Getting a lot of minutes either, right? No, there's all depending on the minutes.
He's falling off. Like I don't want that dude here. Like,
but they got so much talent over there too.
They're loaded. They're loaded.
Yeah, and with young budding stars too. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not just Wembanyama, but you have Sochan. You got all these other guys who
you got the rookie of the year.
There's a group. That's what I'm saying. There's a group of players out there.
Yeah. Now they loaded.
And I think they got some draft picks this year too. They got Castle. They got the who else? They got a couple of draft picks this year.
Yeah, they got somebody. They got two guys this year.
Highly touted. Yeah.
Yeah. One is a defender, and he's a monster defender too.
Mm-hmm.
Like they got some.
Yeah.
They got some stuff.
They got a squad.
They got some stuff over there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting.
I'm not sold on Keldon Johnson like that though. Like Keldon's a good player. I think he, if it was a different team, different set of rules, you know what I mean? Like Josh Hart has years in already with the Knicks and he already has the chemistry built in with some of these players already. I wouldn't make that trade for, to bring someone new in to try to fit a mode that, may or may not work. I don't think that would work for me.
I hear you. I think I might have lost you. You look a little frozen, bro.
I'm frozen?
Yeah. you stuck right now.
Can you hear me?
I hear you, but you sound like you got the max headroom.
That's crazy.
You want to come out and come back in?
Yep.
All right. All right. So yeah, I mean, listen, guys, we are gonna be talking about all these proposed trades because people got nothing better to do. Wait, maybe it's me. Am I still here? I don't know. hopefully y'all still see me. There we go. I mean, are you back?
All right, cool.
I mean,
not really sure what happened.
It could be me though. I don't know.
I don't know.
Let me check. Let me check the YouTubes and see how the show's looking over there. See how what the people see, because something's not right. All of a sudden, everything dropped. What the hell is going on? Yeah, I think it's on my end, bro.
Oh yeah.
I'm a refresh.
Live.
I'm a reload, right, cool. So it might just be you for a second. Hold on.
Okay. Give it a moment and see what you reset. All right. What's up? Let's take a look at the chat while we wait for Ron. I see everyone's really looking at Kai Jones, a 7-footer, who is a defender. Yeah, it's possible. It's just the love. Does he have the love for the game? And does he want to continue to play? I mean, that's the question with Kai Jones. Is that, let's see here. Sherwin put some stats in with Dallas Mavericks 12 games, 21 points, 11 rebounds. Well, I don't know. May have to take a look at him a little closer. But you know, Kai was you know a top prospect when he came into the league, and for whatever reason, it didn't work for him when he first came into the league, and he got into a little bit of trouble. But you know, it could be redeemable depending on his opportunity and where he plays. Um, so we'll see. Salute to everybody in the chat while we wait for Ron to join in. I think he's having trouble. I'm hoping that's not on my end. But yeah, man. It's basically that time of the year where there's just the rumor mill, right?
Okay.
Everybody, there you go. Ron's back.
I don't know what happened. It looks like the internet dropped all over my house, though. Everybody's stuff went out. So I guess there's a
Oh yeah.
yeah. I'm like, all right.
Probably
great.
local, right?
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, it is what it is. Hey, technical difficulties, but we are back.
Yeah, I was just reading up on so Sherwin had posted a little bit of Kai Jones's stats he played 12 games with Dallas last year and had a pretty good stat line.
No, Kai Jones is talented. No, definitely talented.
What was his issues early on? I know when he came in, he was like he ran into a few things.
Well, he had
a mental thing, right?
Yeah, but what was really happening? He had two things going on, right? First off, he was partying a little bit with his peoples,
right?
But then,
social media.
Yeah, but then he moved away from that, and then he was like just having fun with his girlfriend, I think. But I think it was like the type of fun he was having on social media, and it looked like he was under the influence, and
right.
so the team was questioning him, and the media got involved, and then it got too big, and Charlotte decided to cut him.
Right. Yeah. So I guess it all depends on like opportunity, right? And has he learned from his exploits, and his mistakes? The question is, is he gonna, get an opportunity, and show what he can do? I mean, that's what he needs. He needs a place where he can grow.
I think, it seems like it's tough because I feel like you talk about perception. It feels like he's got a bad rap because there's not a lot of teams taking a chance on him.
Right.
So yeah, it kind of stinks, but this is
reputation follows you in the NBA.
Yes, sir. Yep. Now it's starting to things have changed because we're in a different culture now, right? With all the movements and stuff and just how we look at day-to-day life. So some of the stuff you could get away with before that wasn't viewed as a big of a deal is now becoming a big deal, or they don't let things go. It's just that's what it is. They don't let things go anymore.
Especially if like the coach, if you run into it with a coach or you have like a front office and you don't like that word from a front office will follow you around through the entire NBA. Like you just become an untouchable at that point where people are not like messing with you at all. And that's why I'm surprised about Ben Simmons, who's still getting opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
That's surprising.
So Sherwin, are you saying that you believe he did all that stuff to get out of Charlotte? Which that could be true. I don't know.
But that looks bad on him, though.
It does, and maybe that's the reason why he's suffering right now because he did a good job. It's too good.
And the Academy Award goes.
Yeah, too good. Shout out to Rasul Thomas in the building. What up, Rasul? Yeah, it's probably not the way to go. So you got that going on, right? And then another thing that's interesting because we are obviously we're happy about the addition of Jordan Clarkson and Yabusele, but a question might be raised: is Yabusele the biggest acquisition this offseason, even bigger than Jordan Clarkson, because of the fact that Yabusele is a a good sized body, 6'9", with some strength, some aggressiveness to him. But the fact that he really can knock down the open shot and stretch the floor for the Knicks from that power forward spot, depending on how they use him, which gives them something that they didn't really have, especially they couldn't get that from out of sight, out of mind. That's terrible.
Who's that? Oh, you talking about Precious Achua?
Achua, yeah.
Okay.
Sheesh, man, out of sight.
That was quick. That was.
Yeah. And funny thing, I was just going to mention him today because he's still a free agent. He's still on the open market. He still hasn't signed the deal.
That's
so I don't know. Hey, shout out to Fritz, the NBA Economy Show in the building. What up, Fritz? Good to see you as always, and also Nick of Time. You know how he does. Joey Rip 'em Up Sports in the building, as well as Kerry Cox. Salute to you guys, man. Thank you. And thank you for being a member of the SKF Army, Joey.
Appreciate it.
So, some might, come to the conclusion. NBA game hasn't been played yet, so we're not going off of anything. But just thinking of how we can use him, he gives us something that we just haven't had. We can't say, we haven't had Jordan Clarkson specifically, but we've had other guys his height that come in and shoot. We've had
DiVincenzo.
But we haven't had a Yabusele type. So he really might become a really big factor for the team, with not only with his ability to stretch the floor and shoot, but also with his he's got this thing. And apparently New York is starting to they're already talking about Yabusele everywhere. They love his energy and the stuff he says in interviews about why he came to New York. People are really gravitating to it. He might become the fan favorite. So
yeah, and if he plays, tough as nails, you know what I mean, then he's gonna quickly become a fan favorite. He's really just got to go out there and show some hustle and some grit, and if he don't back down at any moment in time where he gets into a little scuffle or pushing match, people are gonna be on his side, because they show he ain't gonna back down.
Because need that. We don't have a lot of toughness. We're not a weak team. We just don't have a lot of toughness. That extra grit.
Yeah.
We got guys that are mentally tough, but you know what I mean by that toughness.
Right. Yeah. It's the scrappiness. You know what I mean? Deuce has a little bit of scrappiness to him, but it's very professional. It's a professional kind of.
It's nothing like what we had with Dante
with years past
with Hartenstein.
Yeah, and I would even go Payton. Remember Payton? Payton gave you that. Payton. You know what I mean? He wasn't, he wasn't for the games. You know what I'm saying? So I think guys like that, become fan favorites, even though he couldn't shoot. But you kind of okay, and you need those type of players who when times get tough, willing to, bring it a little to deeper waters, you know what I mean? And nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I agree. Kerry says, does Yabu play with Huck Porty or with Cat? I think he plays with both, but I think that he will play with Cat, and that's what Cat will be in a position to play center at those times. I don't think Cat's gonna play a lot of center all the time. I think he's probably spend more time at the power forward, especially but this is only if Mitchell Robinson starts.
Right.
I don't know if he will. I still think that Deuce is going to start. I don't know why, but I just have that feeling. And I know that the Knicks are thinking about it. So, because they talked about it, and that's something that they've been pondering. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I think it's going to be good either way. The Knicks have a lot of versatility. No matter what they do, whether they got guys over here, over there, as long as people are comfortable in their positions, I'm okay with it. I just don't want it to be one of those things where OG is playing severely out of position and therefore is not being able to be as effective, or maybe like a Macau, as long as they can avoid that, I think that'll be good. Speaking of that, and I'm just bringing this up because I know it's it's around the Knicks news. I don't care to really talk about it, but they're just talking about going back to the real reason why the people feel that Tom Thibodeau got fired, and it goes back to OG and Macau once again. But we already knew that. I mean, what are we Knicks fans? We talk about this all the time. Yeah, but they're bringing it up again, like if this is new news. So I'm like, okay, all right, yeah. They weren't as comfortable with Tibbs as it might have looked. We got it. All right, cool.
Yeah. The question is, is Mike Brown going to play the hot hand, in every spot that you have on the court, right? I mean, the question is he going to go with the star on the team? Is he going to stick with the stars on the team, or is he going to go with the hot hand, right? Because there are moments in last year's season where Jalen Brunson shot us out of the game, right? And so, and that was Tibbs' guy. He wasn't going to go against it. You know what I mean? He was going to live and die with Brunson being the main guy. And so that's the question I have for Mike Brown, like to see in action. Will he pull away from Brunson if, he ain't shooting it well and someone else got to go in like a Clarkson, and maybe he can play a Deuce and Clarkson, or even Kolek and Clarkson. Like, how deep can he go in the bench? Will he go in the bench? Like, do you see Pacome Daddier get some minutes? And you know what I mean? Like, those are all questions. You know what I mean? So,
right. No, I mean, this is a good
interesting
question
to see starting out the season that way.
There's going to be a lot of questions that come from this upcoming Knicks season, and I mean, even more than we can think of right now. There's going to be so many things that develop from just watching, and because Mike Brown is a little bit of. I mean, I know we think we know Mike Brown, but you never really know somebody until you see how they act with the team that they're with, and knowing that Mike Brown also is on he's on a hot seat as soon as he, because there's a lot of pressure on this year coming from what Tibbs did, and you're just taking over, and they're trying to win a championship. So we don't know exactly what he could do anything outside of his normal way of doing things. He might switch stuff up. We don't know. We'll see.
Right. And he has every opportunity to do so, right? It's a new team, it's a new situation. Yeah. He doesn't,
Yeah, it's true. So we'll see. So guys, listen, it's about that time. If anybody is available to call in and you want to, talk about the Knicks a little bit, but now's the time. Definitely love to hear from you. Let me see here. And put the, we gotta put the thing up there. Let everybody know what time it is. Yeah. Yeah. Call in SKF hotline 347-305-7280. Once again, that's 347-305-7280. And put this up there. Make it a little easier for everybody. This will help. If I can get it. Yeah. All right. I'll switch with this one right here. There we go. All right. So, yeah, man, and definitely once again, thank you guys for all your support. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Please, subscribe if you're not subscribed and you enjoy the content. All right, we got a caller.
Definitely.
Caller, you are on live SKF Weekly. Your name and where you calling from?
This is Fritz.
Oh,
hey Ron, hey John.
What up, Fritz?
What's going on, Fritz?
What's going on?
What's happening, my brother? What's on your mind? I hope life's treating you well.
I just wanted to kick it off. I just did a live show.
Oh, nice.
I'll kind of ruin it, but I know a lot of people have Malik Beasley on the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Let me bask in my good news before you hit me with some bad news, Fritz. Let's just hit a 3-run homer. It's 10-3. Let's go, baby! Oh, sorry. Okay.
There you go.
Hit us with the bad news, Fritz.
Okay. So I'm gonna go bad news first. Like the Knicks only have a minimum to offer. There's other teams who can offer more money to Malik Beasley. I know they said Cleveland checked in, New York checked in. So the Knicks only have a minimum, and right now that's kind of playing with the money they wanted to offer Landry Shamet. That's also the money that people said that we want to use for Ben Simmons. So even so, I think the Knicks would be interested. You know, after Adam Silver comes through and says yay or nay how many games he's gonna miss, I think the Knicks would be interested. Out of all the teams, I think the Knicks do have one advantage that none of the other teams have. And if we think that, this year's a wash for Beasley and that he's only playing for next year to get the big money, the Knicks are the only team that I think would offer him a starting job. So I think if the Knicks, if they came through and said, hey, we can offer you 28 minutes a night and a starting position, you can get a few more bucks from someone else. But if you want the kind of money you want next year, you're not going to get that coming off somebody's bench. And I think the Knicks are the only team that can legitimately offer him a starting position. And I think that may be enough. That may be enough for the Knicks to grab him after the smoke clears, after Adam Silver does what he does.
Right.
But there's more bad news.
Okay.
If the Knicks got him to convince him to take such a deal, moves would need to be made. And, even though he's a rental for 1 year, moves would need to be made. And I think a few players we may not be here. It's a lot to weigh.
Yeah, that's some bad news. I don't know how.
Yeah,
I don't know about. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, but not too many players to shoot 41% from three. And I think kind of we've been trying to make up for Dante leaving. And this is probably the closest thing we can get to Dante. Even if it's just a year.
No, that's true.
It's the closest thing we can get to Dante.
That is true, because as much as I like Landry Shamet, and I do believe that Landry Shamet can shoot over 40% from three. He did it in the second half of the season with the Knicks last year. But Dante is a different type of firecracker scorer when it comes to that stuff. And Beasley's like that too. It's true. Yeah,
he shot 41.6 last year from three on 9.3 attempts at three-pointer last year.
Wow.
That's high volume.
Wow. Yeah.
We've been talking about Josh shoot it when you can't. He's gonna shoot it. He is what we miss in Dante. And I think that's worth moving some pieces around.
Well, I mean, let's see how John feels about it. But listen, that would be a real okay. All right. So first, shout out to Money Grip. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. He said, hey, want to ask a quick question. Why would Deuce start and they paying Bridges all the money? Because, it's not going to affect the Bridges. Deuce would take the place, because remember, Josh Hart started for the Knicks most of last year. Deuce would take Josh Hart's starting spot, or like they use Mitchell Robinson. It wouldn't be Mitch, it would be Deuce. So, but Brunson, Cat, OG, and Macau would all still be starting. This is just the fifth person who you're trying to figure out who would start. But yeah, and I still think that's going to be fifth starter by committee, depending on what they do. Now, to what Fritz is talking about, I could see that if you brought Michael Beasley here, he might even win the starting. Like they might say, hey, let's make him the starter. It could happen. They could flip. It could be him or Jordan Clarkson. They could decide to go that way. I don't know. I still think for continuity purposes, they'd probably go with Deuce if they're going to go that route outside of the big man, because I just think that they want to have, they want to have some semblance of people who know how to orchestrate the offense that people are already comfortable with while they teach them new stuff to incorporate. And I'm not saying Beasley can't jump in there, but at least like Deuce knows all of the sets. He already knows how to work with these guys. I just think it's a way to start the season off if they decide to go that route. I don't know. What do you think, John?
And you said Michael Beasley, but Malik, right? You met.
You said, everybody's. I know I'm not. I'm watching content creators. I see y'all saying Michael Beasley. I ain't the only one.
I'm like, I know Mike is getting busy in these 3-on-3s and everything, but
I keep saying Michael Beasley.
Been
man.
far from.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the question though? Like, is Malik Beasley? What was the question? Because I was kind of in and out.
Because he was talking about if Malik Beasley were to come here, obviously it affects because he's someone that you don't want to bring in here, and he doesn't want to be here without having playing time. So he's definitely going to eat into somebody's time to the point where the Knicks might have to move somebody.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what was my point a little earlier when we were talking about it. It was that, Beasley, he's a good player. And in a system like ours, he's going to need to know, before even deciding to come to the Knicks, he's going to need to know what his role is going to be and what kind of minutes he's going to be looking at in front of him, you know what I mean, before making that decision. So I just think, like, he is a good player. He's a solid role player. He's someone who can fit our system. And he's definitely going to end up taking someone's spot if he does choose to sign with the Knicks. Minutes will come from different areas. I think more so from the guard positions, more so than like the forward positions, because I think he's more of a guard than is that doesn't really play the small forward, although he has played small forward at times, but he's more of like a 6'6" wing, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I could see him taking some spot minutes away from players like I said, Deuce specifically.
Mm-hmm.
You stated Hart, which you're not completely wrong. I think that's a good,
But I welcome that.
That's a good choice as well.
I think all of them should lose some minutes. I don't think guys should be playing 35 plus minutes. I think everybody's minutes should go down, and I think Hart especially should be high 20s instead of high 30s, low 40s. He should be high 20s. Take the best out of him,
Yeah, I agree. Because then they can put in their best. They can go 100% and not worry about being gassed in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then, like I was stating earlier, is like, will Mike Brown go with the hot hand? Because I think that's really the new NBA. You may have your star, player play the bulk of the minutes, but at some point, sometimes star players don't have it going, and you have to rely on a secondary player.
Yeah, I agree. One more thing I wanted to ask Fritz before he goes is, but before I say that, I just want to say, because I have been saying Michael Beasley so much, I haven't watched not one game, not one interaction of this Big Three tournament. I do know that Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson's team won. They all the players get $1 million or whatever. But let me just tell you, listen, that is wild entertainment. I was watching highlights. Those dudes are, I can't say it. You know how YouTube is.
Hilarious.
They're something. But they're balling though. But they are something.
Fraudulent.
not the senior tour.
Yeah,
It's
no.
It's not the PGA senior
No,
tour.
it definitely ain't the PGA Tour. They're wild, man. Shout out to them though. They put two of those dudes together on a team and it worked somehow.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Fritz, what's your thoughts? Because I had a conversation about this on Saturday, and I didn't even bring it up tonight to get John's thought on it, but he can obviously weigh in on it. I don't think they're going to do it. I just think this is just something to talk about. But the whole thing about the Knicks being very highly interested in Mike Weiner, the assistant coach in Indiana who helped with the motion offense, and then him declining the opportunity to really meet with the Knicks, and then now him and Indiana have parted ways. Do you think it's a possibility the Knicks would revisit that situation, or it's just it's over?
Well, he really wanted him for a reason.
No, he definitely wanted him.
I don't think there's a better job out there, because the job the Knicks were offering, I believe, was the associate coach.
They were for him.
Yeah, so I don't think there's a better job out there. I don't know what the conversation is with his team. Sometimes, like, you might really know what people feel after, certain decisions are made. So, yeah, who knows? They may revisit it.
I know. I'm like, the only thing is it creates a very funky dynamic, you know what I mean? Because you had Mike Weiner at the top of your list for an offensive, maybe associate coach. He is not available to you, so you pivot, and then you bring in Chris Gent. So now that Chris Gent and TJ Saint are here, how do you go back to Mike Weiner and even bring him into the fold? Like, how does that sit with Chris Gent? Like, I don't know. What do you think about that, John?
I'm not too familiar with either of those guys, to be honest with you.
I'll tell you this. Chris Gent is a very solid offensive coach. He used to be a Knick back in the day. We knew that, but he's a very solid offensive coach. He's been on different squads that have had really good offenses, so he's learned and picked up information from those places. So, this will be a good chance for him to show what he's got, but they feel very confident in him. And then TJ Saint, obviously people around the league are saying we got a good one in him, because he understands motion offense and other things of how today's NBA works. So that's great. Now the flip side is the Knicks wanted Mike Weiner for a reason, because he's one of the best at motion offense. I mean, that's the reason why Indiana, he's a winner, right? He's won 2 national championships with Florida back in the day when they won their 2 championships. Most recently, whenever that was, years ago, he was on the Dallas Mavericks team with Carlisle when they won the championship. And obviously, Indiana has probably the best motion offense in the league, and he's
right.
An architect of that along with Carlisle. So, it's tough to say no if he's available, but it's a funky thing. I don't know.
Yeah, but you always go with the best person available for the job, right? It's the NBA, right? It's a business, and so it's the business of winning. You know what I mean? So you have to go. I mean, if Weiner has more experience in that role, then you go in that direction, and then Fritz can, learn and gain some knowledge under his tutelage. I mean, that's the reality. At some point, every, coach in the league is going to find an opportunity that best fits their needs if they want to move up in rank. And I'm sure Weiner is probably going to want to move on to bigger and better things at some point in his career, want to become a head coach, possibly. So, all roads, they're never direct, right? It's always, so you gotta go with the flow. So I think if I'm the Knicks, I'm gonna get the best guy available, and that's also regardless of who's been hired for a current, opportunity or not,
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. That's kind of the way I was looking at it too. I was saying, you know what, bring him in and they'll work it out. Everybody's getting paid. They're getting money. Let's win this together. You know.
Yeah. And it's not to say that Fritz won't have his opinion on how things are run either. Like, what's his name?
Oh, well, I don't know which one you're talking about.
The second one, not Wiener or Weiner.
Chris Gent or TJ Saint? Gent.
Yeah, like it ain't like Fritz. I don't know. It's not. It's not like Gent is not going to have an opportunity to share his thoughts around how the offenses ran, and he would probably also have an opinion, and they would probably build together. Mm-hmm. So, that's generally how it works.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just gotta listen. If something falls in your lap that you're not expecting, if you're trying to win a championship, you go all out. Yeah, listen, you may have to, give somebody an extra pat on the back. Hey, listen, we weren't expecting this. We were looking at him. We brought you in. We love you. Listen, we're gonna make this work. You're gonna do this.
But this is also a values franchise.
Yeah. What'd you say, Fritz?
Hey, the pay the same, like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Listen, you still gonna get free meals at our favorite restaurants right by the Garden. Listen, everything's gonna be good. It's gonna be all right.
And it's the Garden. You're playing for the New York Knicks. Like you're working under really, strong establishment. It's gonna, it's just gonna bolster your resume.
Yeah, it definitely can't hurt. I love it. Hey, Fritz, anything else you wanted to touch before you get out of here?
Man, I had a little bit on. I had like a little bit on Ben Simmons, a little bit on Mitch. They're talking about Mitch's extension. But everybody's just like, I think a lot of people are saying, hey, Ben Simmons is just lurking, just sitting, thinking on all these teams. I don't really think it's Ben Simmons holding the process up. I really think it's I have my theory on what it is. My theory is I think it's Boston, and I think Boston is trying to trade Simons, who they just traded for,
right? Which I don't understand.
For less money, so they can get under.
Oh, because they're at the second apron.
No, they're not in the second apron. They're not even in the first. I think they're trying to get out of the tax.
Oh.
Period. So where they get a refund from league. So I think they're trying to trade him for someone cheaper.
Uh-huh.
And I think they'll sign. If they have enough space, I think they'll sign Ben Simmons as long as they can stay under the tax. So, you already seen a little clue of it. They already talked about Simons won't be the starter,
which is crazy.
Which is crazy. So they're kind of putting it out of their mind that he's going to be the guy to look forward to, and I think they're just trying to trade him for someone cheaper.
I don't know, man. I mean, sometimes you just don't understand. I don't know what happened to Anthony Simons, where he was looked at as, the next coming, at one point, the next coming of Dame Dollars, like, because he had so much ability and talent. They were like, oh, they got them another one. But things have changed.
They finessed the Blazers. Because they got rid of a guy that people thought was a negative asset for Simon. Simon's not exactly what they wanted, but he's a 1-year contract and he's tradable. And I think they're just going to trade him for something cheaper.
Yeah, I did see.
Take that $25 million. Give me someone who's 18. Give me someone who's 18 million.
Yeah, because I did see a lot of rumors about him being traded too today. So yeah, I definitely
there's a possibility.
Yeah. Well, hey man, hey Fritz, as always, appreciate you, my brother. You know how we give it up for everything you got going on. Please, guys, if y'all haven't checked out Fritz, you can catch him on the Nick of Time show with the rest of the guys over there, or on his own show, the NBA Economy Show, which he said he just wrapped up a show tonight. So Replay Gang, definitely check that out. I know I'm going to check it out when I have a free moment.
I'll throw it in the chat.
Oh, yeah, definitely do, my brother. Definitely do. And once again, appreciate you for the call and thanks for all the insight, man.
All right, thanks for having me on.
All right, my brother. Hey, and listen, catch up with Karan. I think he's trying to holler at you about next week.
Yeah, I talked to him earlier. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, cool. Sounds good. I am too.
All
right, brother.
Catch it.
Latest. Dripmore is in the building. What up, Dripmore? Good to see you. The official barber of Still Knicks fans and the Knicks community. Let's go. Shout out to Deron Wayne in the building. I feel like I said what's up to Deron already, but maybe I didn't. Shout out to Deron anyway, and a member of the SKF Army. Salute to you, my guy. Also shout out to Bodega Wi-Fi in the building. What up, Bodega? Good to see you, brother. All right. Hey, Latoria, we are. There is Tori B's in the building. Shout out to you, Ron and John. Evening, gentlemen. Thank you for being here. And shout out to my guy, Shaw Powers in the building. What up, Shaw? Oh, got another phone call. Let's get this one real quick. Caller, you on live, SKF Weekly. Your name and where you calling from? Hello, can you hear me, caller?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Ah, there you go. Yeah, we hear you, buddy. What's happening, bro?
What's happening? How you doing? My name is Jay Chosen from New York. I want to say hello. Peace to the chat. Peace to John and Ron. The best show going.
Thank you, man.
You're teaching me a lot. I like the conversation that you have with Chris, man. There's a lot of information getting out there, a lot of stuff I don't know about. I thought I knew everything, but I'm slowly learning that I don't know half of what I think I knew. So,
well, join the club. We can all learn something every single day, my brother.
Right. And I'm getting older, so I'm forgetting what I knew. Right? So, that's a problem, too. So, man, but one thing I do know is that I definitely have to I'm definitely still young at heart and a little bit immature, because the other day I said there's two really funny things that you did today. Maybe I'll let you know soon. And, I'm over here listening, and you said, all right, enough of the winter talk. It's time to go to the. I just learned that I have to grow up. That's what I learned today. And, and that's it, really. That's what I wanted to input to the show. And really what I want to input to the show is that I really like the idea. Really, I don't, listen, there's plenty of people who have gotten second, third, fourth chances. It's the reason why you don't want, I almost said it too. I'm just going to say Beasley, so I don't get it wrong. Is because of the gambling or whatever it might be. I think that if they did their due diligence, I mean, if he was in trouble, he wouldn't be allowed back. I mean, plus, we've all done stuff. So look, we need that type of player. We said, this on Saturday. He is a type of player that you would dislike unless he's on your team. And that's, or at least I'll speak for myself, and I know how you feel about it, Ron. You're like, he reminds, he's definitely a type of player that we could use on our squad. And I would start him immediately in a 2-hole right there. Put him in a 2. That's a beautiful starting 5. Then your second unit. I mean, I think Josh has made it apparent from last year. Like, listen, I do agree. I saw Shaw say it too. We won 51 games with him in that starting last year, playing a ton of minutes. Yes, we did. But now that we have people to go to, and Josh did make it apparent in the early goings of last year that he was kind of like privy to the bench. He likes that role. He likes that. I don't know what he like now because he had a full year of starting, right? But I like what we have going now. Look at the bench. You bring in somebody like that to start, right? And now your bench is so stacked. And we didn't even get to like the others, right? Like the third, the colics, the other people that you could run them 10 minutes, 12 minutes here and there every time because you have so much offensive power, right? And Beasley is a nuisance. He is a bother. You saw what he did in the series with us last year. He had me flipping out in my, when I was watching. So just now that it's sort of a thing, I think it's right. Can we call it sort of a thing?
Yeah.
Maybe. Like, what's the real possibility on getting Beasley? The real possibility on getting Beasley?
I think from the stuff that Fritz said, the fact that there is a chance that even though we all know, supposedly he has money issues and, obviously could use the money. That doesn't mean that it's all panic city for him and he has to get this lucrative contract right now. There is a chance that he could take less money, right? And be here. And if he plays well, the Knicks or any other team is going to reward him with a nice contract next year. So he should be able to get out of, or at least put a dent in whatever issues he's got money-wise, if that's the case. Next year, if not this year. Plus, we do have, as I mentioned earlier, we do have, Garson Rosas here, who is very familiar with him, gave him, Beasley his deal in Minnesota. And so there might be some attractiveness for the Knicks for him to come here. And I said something else on Saturday that I don't know if I want to repeat, but you guys get it. Like if Beasley's got issues, if Beasley's got issues with some stuff, I'm sure the Knicks could help outside of his NBA contract.
Well, you can always find brand deals too.
Absolutely.
Right, and there's definitely
you're in the biggest market.
Nice steak. Yeah. We'll just say sit over a nice steak and have a conversation.
Yeah.
But I just think that out of all the names we've been talking about, Ben Simmons and whatever it might be, this is a name. None of those names jumped at me. Sure, some of them, you think about where they fit in, what they could do, or whatever. We know what he could do, and throwing him in that starting position so he could get, it's championship or bust in my eyes. I mean, where the East is ours. In my eyes, I mean, I know there's Cleveland, but I mean, with the teams that are hurting, with the teams that are around, I know there's a couple of teams like Orlando, maybe Atlanta that could fight, but I can't see any other teams really messing with us like that. So you add somebody like that, and everybody who's come to this team, that has contributed to this team has gotten the bag, or at least has moved on to a team that played well. Like when we made the trade, Minnesota was a good team. So 100%. I mean, it is what it is. I'm sure that they could have a nice talk with Bruno. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
But that's my input. I just wanted to say that, it's always good to I like when Fritz comes on because there's a lot of breakdown in that. And I don't know. John, your son ready to play True God yet, or?
Yeah, it's got a long ways away. Got to get through high school
All right,
first.
well.
Hey man, Jay, listen, as always, man, I appreciate the call. Thank you. We'll chop it up. But the other thing too is for those who haven't checked it out, or even if you did check it out and you didn't see the whole thing, maybe you want to revisit it. Check out Fritz's NBA economy show he had Scoop B on the show, who was talking a lot about Ben Simmons. And that still holds true, that conversation, and it's still up in the air, and we still obviously Boston is in the mix, but anything can happen, because like I said, we would like to have Beasley, but don't know if he will agree to be here. So and if that's the case, they gotta go somewhere else.
Especially if he gets more money in somewhere else.
Yeah.
Listen, fellas, I appreciate your time. God bless you. Have a wonderful night.
All right, man. You too.
I'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate you,
Later.
brother.
All right, always. Peace.
Later. All right. I think that's it, guys. But
It's always interesting, bro, when it comes to like the conversations around Ben Simmons. But what scares me about Ben Simmons, bro, is like it's been so much time that he's been in the conversation that at this point get sort of like weaned himself out of the conversation. You know what I mean? It's like if you really wanted to be here, you had plenty of opportunity to say yes, to sign this deal. I really want to be a Knick, and then it's like the complete opposite of Yabusele, basically.
Right. Yeah, and that's my whole thing. Like at a certain point, and as I said this years ago, and my feeling still stays the same. And now there's evidence behind it. Now that we've got something to back how I feel.
Yeah.
We want you. You don't want to be here, okay. But when it's
move on.
time for us to be on top, when we're ready to rock and roll, you want to join, and we want you, come on over. But if you want to play, then stay over there and play. We don't need any of that. We got a squad right now that's going to do damage. Okay, we try to
ready, right?
Do it. You want to win a chip? We trying to win a chip. You come over here, you got a chance to possibly win a chip. Especially, Beasley or Ben Simmons. If Ben Simmons can be half of what we think he could be,
right?
Come on over. Let's go. While we playing, let's go.
Right. Yeah, 100%. Exactly what I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like at some point you just gotta move on. You know what I mean?
That's it. That's how it is. Anyway, want to thank you guys again. Appreciate you as always for the support and the love you guys show us. Thank you for smashing the like button. And obviously, if you're subscribed already, appreciate you. If you're not subscribed, please think about subscribing if you enjoyed the content. Shout out to Chris Gotti in the chat. I don't know if I said what's up to you before, Chris. Good to see you. But thank you guys once again. Get over to my guy, John, for his final words.
Well, listen, man, we keep growing, right? We're on our road to 1 million, right? So subscribers. So looking forward to that. You know what I'm saying? Keep smashing that like button, keep subscribing, keep handing that off to friends and family and loved ones to come share the Knicks fandom that we have for our Knicks. And as always, man, a pleasure to be here with you today. I know I'll be missing in action sometimes, but I'll make it when I can. So hopefully next week I'll be here. And so for all you tuning in, stay safe, stay blessed. I'm looking forward to the next one.
It's all right, man. I do what I got to do by myself. But if John comes back in the fold or Jose's back, we form like Voltron, the 3-man. We all right. We good. La tres mosqueritos. Anyway,
you ain't never lie.
So once again, as I always say, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still Knick fans, we'll be back again, whether it be on Monday nights at 9 p.m. for SKF Weekly with myself, my brother John, and my brother Jose. Stay tuned for that. Or on Saturdays for Know the Ledge at 11:30 as I have the open panel. And, if need be, talk y'all off the ledge. But we work together, man. It's therapy for all of us. So tune in to our shows and look forward to this Wednesday or Thursday, but I think it's probably going to be Wednesday, the new State of the Game, where we're going to talk about the state of the NBA, but maybe more of sports in general and just where we're at currently as far as gambling and the impact of sports, whether it be in different cultures. A lot of African American representation is lacking in baseball, and then there's a lot going on. So we're gonna try to talk about as much as we can in that show. So it should be pretty interesting. So tune in.
And just hear this: there's a resurgence happening in baseball, actually.
Oh, I like it. That's good,
and that's coming. So
that's fantastic.
A lot of young African American talent coming into this new wave of young talent. I think 2027 is definitely going to be a year where you see a lot more color coming back to the MLB. A lot of young talent, 2027, 2026 as well. There's some young studs who are hitting they're number one prospects. You know what I mean? Coming into the draft, you're getting 2 to 3 African American players who are all top 5, top 10 players. So
very nice.
And we're seeing some players right now with some teams that are, especially in American League, showing themselves. Like Tampa Bay has a couple of players that are showing out and coming into the league, and so that's going to shift.
That's what we got to see, man. We got to get back. Every sport that we have, we need to have the best players, the best representation, because it's not just one sport. A lot of sports have seen a decline in ratings and viewership because of other things, social media. We'll talk about it, but you get it. There's a lot more stuff going on that's taking our attention span away from things that we used to really enjoy. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Thank you guys once again, man. I don't know, Bodega. I gave y'all a little bit of it on Saturday.
Yeah,
maybe if we hit 10K, I don't
know. We're skipping over 10K. We're going straight for the mill.
Well, anyway, thank you guys once again. Appreciate y'all. And listen, no matter what, let's not forget the good, the bad, the ups and downs. We are still Knicks fans. It don't stop. And as I like to say, guys, before we get out of here, be good. But if you can't be good at it. You know what I mean? We out of here, baby. Latest.
New York Knicks. First. Go Knicks.
We can finally, start playing, man. So much talk this whole summer. It's felt like so long because we've had so much to talk about. At times it's been kind of slow, but we've been talking, right? But we've actually had a really good off season for this New York Knicks team, and it's been very active. There's been a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, Knicks family, we in the building. I am the Objective Fan from the Objective Knicks Fan channel. And I'm going to give a big salute to Ron and John from Still Knicks Fans.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, Knicks family, I'm Stephanie, a.k.a. Blood Sweat Team Sports. We are still Knicks.
What's going on, everybody? It's your girl, Lady and the Chef, from Two Knicks Chicks Podcast. Still a Knicks fan.
What's good, party people in the place to be? It's your main man.
What's up, everybody? This is Steve Box 21 at Two Knicks Chicks Podcast, and I'm still a Knicks fan.
Yo, this is your boy Sim from Nothing But Knicks. Through all the struggles, through all the heartache and pain, ladies and gentlemen, I am still a Knicks fan.
Peace, y'all. This is Apollo Reed from the Garden Knicks crew. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm still a Knicks fan.
I'm still here. We're still here. still Knicks fans. It's a fandom. It's a lifestyle.